What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we are here at 704 Exotics with my Honda Civic Type-R. If you are new to the channel, I've owned this FL5 for about a year and it is currently for sale. It is here on consignment with 704 Exotics. I'll have my car's listing linked down below for those of you interested in a low mileage, very nice FL5. This has been an awesome car. I've loved owning it over the last year. It did everything so well. It was a fun sports car and it was a super practical car for home projects and just fitting stuff in it. However, one of the reasons I am selling it, it's not exactly the perfect dad car due to the fact that it's a manual, so my wife's never gonna drive it. So for family use, not really gonna be using it too much with her and I both driving. Also, there's no rear air vents, so not exactly perfect for newborns. So with that said, the Audi RS6, it is a station wagon, so it's got all the practicality the Type-R has. However, it has all the luxuries and refinements that my wife's Audi RS3 has. So once we get the Type-R sold, maybe we would trade in the RS3 for the RS6, and that could be the ultimate family car. So while the FL5 Honda Civic Type-R is in no way, shape, or form a competitor to an Audi RS6, in many ways it kind of is the car below this. The Civic Type-R is a fun performance hatchback, and the RS6 is really the only big boy grown-up performance wagon out there. So this is a good next step if you are coming from a Civic Type-R and want something that is even more powerful and more premium. So underneath the hood, this has a massive 4-liter twin turbocharged V8 with a mild hybrid system. It's got an 8-speed automatic, of course, quattro all-wheel drive. We have 621 horsepower and 627 pound-feet of torque. We got the all-wheel steering. Curb weight is just shy of 5,000 pounds. 0 to 60 is 3.4 seconds, and with a 19.3 gallon fuel tank, you're looking at 13 mpg in the city with 24 out on the highway. Now the Civic Type-R is completely different with a 2-liter inline 4-cylinder turbocharged engine producing 315 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. We have front-wheel drive with a limited slip differential, and this one's only a manual transmission. 0 to 60 is just under 5 seconds, however, topping out at 170. 12.4 gallon fuel tank, and you can expect 22 in the city with 28 out on the highway. Now, while the Civic Type-R is around $46,000 new and used, and then the Audi RS3 ranges from around 80 to 120 new and used, you can tell they are very similar in looks. Of course, both being white, very different whites though. But on the Audi, you got all this gloss black, you got this really nice mean grille with some sharp lines all throughout it, LED headlights, very wide looking up front. The Civic honestly has similar characteristics with the massive grille, the gloss black trim. Civic is a great looking car. It really is super cool for an affordable sub $50,000 practical sports car. Got the Brembo brakes, sharp lines all throughout it. And then at the side is where you start seeing some similarities. So we have the wagon style on the RS6. So you have that really nice sportback design with a full lift back to make this a very practical car. I love the side profile with the sharp lines. Sleek rear end with this massive diffuser, 2 massive exhaust tips, sloping rear glass. I mean, this is a cool wagon. When I was growing up, station wagons did not look like this. Civic Type-R is more of a lift back, but still has kind of that same design to it. Big wing, of course, triple exhaust in the center. And with the rear lift gates open, you can tell that they have some similarities. Now for the Civic Type-R, I've been impressed with the amount of space you get. This has 24 cubic feet of cargo volume with the rear seats in the up position. Like I said, this has been super practical. RS6 is even bigger. We get 30 cubic feet of cargo volume and a power lift gate in the back of this. So this is super roomy and practical. I love that. And there's even levers at easy reach to fold down the second row. We have a nice cargo cover as well to easily cover things. The Civic has a manual one as well. Now, once you start folding things down, we're gonna see 46.2 cubic feet of cargo volume in the Civic. Here, you're just gonna reach a little bit and we can get these and then fold this. And of course, with the seats out of the way, these will fold nice and flat and you have a lot of space. And then for the Audi, once again, even more space at 59.3 cubic feet. So this one, I can pull that. It's all gonna come down. You can even pull the center seat individually. I already got the car seat in there, but as you can tell, this thing is even more practical, which is a great touch. So taking a look at the Civic's interior, obviously we are comparing a Honda Civic to an expensive Audi. However, the Civic Type-R's interior is pretty nice. There's ambient lighting, soft touch micro suede, soft touch plastics, cool mesh for all the air vents, fun screen with some of the performance information on it. You will get a navigation system built in. You also have touchscreen a couple different things. So it's pretty nice overall for being a Civic at the end of the day. Nice camera design. You have physical climate controls, which are very easily accessible, wireless charging, plugs, a couple drive modes, and a pretty cool configurable screen. Got those massive shift lights too, which is a really nice touch to see. And then in either the R mode or the customizable individual, you got a really sweet design. You have your nice normal buttons all throughout it. Cruise control works great with lane keeping and forward collision. You have more of this air vent material, some gray trim. It's been a nice interior, and I love these bucket seats. I find them super comfortable. They are all manual control, however, I fit so well in them. It is a comfortable car to drive. There's adaptive suspension and steering, so the drive modes actually do something. So moving on to the Audi RS6. Obviously, this is a six-figure car when we're looking at the brand new market. Even used, these are not cheap. You're gonna get even nicer materials, of course. We have the leather on the dash with stitching, a really cool carbon fiber material throughout the dash and doors, aluminum trim along with more leather and Alcantara on the doors. Gorgeous set of seats that are all finished in beautiful Napa leather with contrast stitching. We have a sunroof up above. There's a control panel with all the touch sensitive icons, which I actually don't mind. It's actually easy to use. We have heated and ventilated seats, all of the different zones, making it very easy to use. Audi's screen, which is exactly like our RS3, so I'm very used to the way this all works. You got a couple fun things you're able to look at too when you turn the screen on, which is a cool touch, which is actually exactly like our RS3. So fun to see, we are super used to that. Steering wheel has your basic controls for the screens, RS mode to get you into the fun driving mode, and you have that nice screen right there with two different modes. Cruise controls down here, and that all works really good as well. Nice leather on the steering wheel, and the screen itself has a great look with a full screen nav system. You have all sorts of information. So we are super used to this screen, of course, owning an RS3. And sitting in here, some nice things, there's memory seating, which I love in the RS3, since my wife and I are like almost a foot difference in height. This seat is really comfortable. There's a lot of room. So taking a look at the back seats with the Honda Civic Type-R, one of the downfalls with this being based on a Civic, which is kind of a simple car, the back seats don't really have amenities. Now again, this is not a luxury car, it's not supposed to be. This is a track-focused hot hatch, and I used it for the fun factor and the practicality, given it's a hatchback, has the space. However, when you then throw kids in the back, especially newborns who need to stay cool on our hot 100-degree summer days, there's no air vents back here, and the climate control with just 4 vents up front. Honestly, it takes a long time for this to get cool. It's not a practical family car with super young kids. Once your kids are like 2, 3, 4, whatever, when they can get in the car themselves, not in a rear-facing car seat, really not a big deal. They'll have enough air. So newborns, the first year or two, this just isn't ideal. And my wife and I really only need one practical car. So we're kind of downsizing. I'd rather just own 2 cars than 3, just because it gets a little hectic at the house. So having 2 cars, we'd probably, once this sells, RS3 would swap for the RS6. So back here, this is comfortable and roomy for an adult. I fit really nice. No amenities, no air vents, no nothing. All you have is cup holders down in that bottom area. And when we put the car seat in, you can fit in front of it. However, I can't fit comfortably driving. So in the passenger side, I have to slide this a couple inches forward if it's good enough for my wife. So it is fine in size, just it lacks the amenities. So that leads us to the Audi RS6 back seat. So again, 5'11" sitting here. I am pleasantly surprised. This is basically an SUV in a car. My wife loves cars. She doesn't like SUVs. She just likes little cars. That's why she loves the RS3. So this is a car with the space of an SUV, which is super appealing. Being a 6-figure Audi, we have a sunroof up here, which is really cool. One thing I like, we get sun shades too, which is a great touch. There's gonna be some leather trim on the interior. I mean, you have the leather, the aluminum, the carbon fiber all throughout it. It's a beautiful back seat. With that said, driver's seat at my height, plenty of knee room. This seat is really comfortable. I can pull that center down for an armrest and cup holders. And what's nice, we have some nice amenities like air vents sitting right in the center with all of our climate controls. So you're gonna get heated seats. You can adjust your zone too. You have foot vents in here, very easily adjust the fan speed and temperature. There's plugs and storage, and even extra vents right here. And then those side air vents are gonna have a nice breeze of cool air surrounding the car seat to really keep that nice and cool. And with this sitting here, I can perfectly fit in this passenger seat with 0 compromises. So this absolutely would fit my wife and I, 1 kid, and even a 2nd car seat if needed. So let's get my bearings back in my FL5 Civic Type-R. So I've owned this car for almost a year, just under 5,000 miles on it. this truly has been one of the most exciting cars that I've owned without breaking the bank. So this car, $46,000 is its current market value, and it is so much fun for the money. While the interior isn't amazingly nice, I don't think it's bad. I feel like the soft touch materials and these bucket seats just make this a cool place to be. It genuinely is just fun. The drive modes all work really well, so it's been a pretty useful car to where I can use it for just daily driving, which is what I did. Sometimes I did a 300-mile trip in this, and this was just a really good all-around car to rack up miles. I find these comfortable. There's a lot of good padding, and the bolsters are so big to where when you take some sharp turns, you are just glued in this car. The manual is a fun transmission for this car. I like how notchy it is. It is one of the better stick shift cars on the market. So I've enjoyed how this is a sports car, but then again, when I do house projects, I'm able to fold the seats down and be at the hardware store in the pro section with all the trucks loading this up. So I have used this as a utility vehicle and a fun sports car at the same time, and it really has solved both of those needs. Now with a child though, just with the car seat in the back, the air vents is a big deal, just having no air vents back there. There is an aftermarket kit apparently you can get to do air vents in the back, which is a sweet way to go. However, the climate system in these import cars just is not on the same level as the European cars. So the fact that it's not set up to have air vents in the back, it's just not going to do the same trick with a newborn for this first year or so. Also on top of that, given YouTube is my job, we have press cars every week, you know, I'm always driving so many other cars, I don't really need to have two practical cars. So if I got an RS6, it would be swapping the RS3 for it, of course, after this is sold. So our goal really is just to have my baby, the Lambo, and then whatever my wife wants. She loves Audis, and the RS6 is honestly on her top list for the next car. But this FL5 is so fun. It takes turns so flat when you're in the right drive modes. The brakes work, the steering is fantastic. It's got good power. It is just fun, fun, fun. That is what I've said with this car whenever I've done reviews or videos on this. It is just a fun, fun car, and it's certainly practical for either no kids or 3 or 4 year olds and up. So I'm in that sweet spot of I need more luxuries back there for this to be a useful dad car, basically. Moving on now to the Audi RS6 Avant. So I've driven one of these one time before. It was back when they first came out, and now I have way more experience in the Audis, the BMWs, all these premium cars. So this already, a lot of this is like what I'm used to with our RS3. The generation is exactly the same. So this screen is all basically the same. This is all the same. While climate control is a touchscreen panel, which normally I'm not the biggest fan of, actually I like how you have to press it a little bit to make it work. So I find that no big deal. It seems to be really easy to get used to. We're just in comfort mode right now, and this drives like just a big, comfortable sedan, really, just a big luxury car. So it's nice how this can be a great daily. You know, if we got a road trip up to Michigan, which is a 10-hour road trip, I'm not gonna have an issue in this car. Wow, giving it a little bit of throttle in comfort, this thing is fast. So that is cool, the power you're gonna get in an RS6 like this. But, you know, this has the luxuries of the RS3 that we're used to, the practicality that the FL5 has, but this has even more space and more luxuries than either car obviously has, being a much next step up car from even the RS3. But this is a nice just kind of cruising daily. I'm so comfortable in it. We have the leg rests, the memory seating, really no complaints. This is just a comfortable, good family car, honestly. And I think this is something my wife would like. Again, she doesn't like SUVs. The RSQ8 has kind of been what we thought about getting, but she likes cars better, and this is always what she's telling me she wants. And when the time comes, I'm gonna let her make that decision. When she's ready to say goodbye to the RS3, honestly, I think this is definitely gonna be it. So with that, drive select, we'll go to dynamic mode, or let's do RS1, which is gonna be everything in the sport modes, basically. I've already adjusted that. Man, already we got some grunt, and of course, there's some mods we could do to this. There's tuning, there's intakes, exhausts, you know, some springs, wheels. The steering, wow. Wow, that steering is phenomenal. But that took that turn unlike anything. That was crazy. The transmission is really responsive. Wow. Okay, so for those of you who are new to the channel, I used to own an R35 Nissan GTR. I did full bolt-ons E85, 700 horsepower. This car is already giving me that acceleration of just, you are gone. This thing will smoke the RS3 even. Wow. I am liking this a lot. Oh my gosh, this thing is fast. Wow, you do some mods of this, this is crazy. Wow, the steering is fantastic. There's so much power. That is insane, the levels that you have in this car. Wow, I think I am sold. I am sold. This is awesome. This has got to be it. I'm gonna have a conversation with wifey when I get home, but this has got to be the next family car. I'm blown away. That was a quick test drive, nothing too crazy. Well, the RS6 absolutely speaks for itself. That car is the whole package. While it is not in any way, shape, or form a competitor to an FL5 Type-R, what it has that the FL5 has is the practicality. I've loved how useful this car is. The RS6 is even more useful for space, so I can use this as a utility car. On top of that, it has power and performance like my old GTR. This thing moves on a quick baby test drive. So that car has some serious performance, has even more refinements than our RS3. And then as far as being family friendly, it is perfect. It literally has the space, has the amenities, has everything to fit perfectly with a young kid and even older kids as they grow up. So absolutely blown away with just how perfect this car honestly is. While it's not a nimble track car, little go-kart like the Type-R is, this car really handles on rails. The extra luxuries, the speed, all the other things really do make it shine quite nicely. But that is it for today's video. I'm gonna have to talk to wifey about an RS6, and when she's ready to part ways with the RS3, by far this is the next car. That is sweet. Shout out to 704 Exotics for providing the RS6 for today's video, and check out the link down below to the listing of my FL5. I am sad to see it go. If I had unlimited funds, unlimited space, I would keep it because it is so fun, but I gotta downsize. I just want two awesome cars, and this thing might be the next one. That is it. I'll see you guys in the next video.